Howard Sorrells was born on September 17, 1926, to Addie Bell Huff and William E. Sorrells in Hiram, Georgia, where the family raised corn, cotton, mules, and cows. The youngest of 9 siblings, Howard attended Hiram High School and graduated in 1943. His twin brothers, Herschel and Hubert, left home at 15 and moved to Arcadia, Florida, where they loaded a truck with citrus and brought it back to the Georgia State Farmers Market to sell. This led to Howard's first job, driving a truck and hauling citrus with his brothers when he was 16 years old. The twins and brother Robert settled in Arcadia in 1938 and founded Sorrell Brothers Packing Company in Arcadia in 1941, with Howard joining them after college. Together, they developed and planted many acres of citrus groves in DeSoto County, eventually becoming one of the most reputable and premier caretaking services, intermediate handlers, and harvesters of citrus in Florida. Howard was drafted into the U.S. Army in 1945 and accepted into the University of Florida in 1947 under the GI Bill, becoming the first of his family to ever graduate from college when he received his B.A. in Business Administration in 1951. That year would stand out as one of the high points and low points of Howard's life, when he lost his father and his brother, Hubert, but married Celia Blount, whom he had met when he moved to Arcadia after college. This May will be their 59th anniversary, and together they raised 4 children, Marie, Jane, Susan, and Julie, and have 5 grandchildren.
His philosophy in life in general has always been service is a rent you pay for living, and he's instilled that in all of his children, and more importantly, he's lived that philosophy.
After Howard and Celia were married, they moved to the company's Atlanta office, where he worked in the wholesale market approximately 6 years, buying and selling citrus fruit and selling watermelons in the off-season. Friend and former writer for the DeSoto County Times, Howard Melton, noted that a record of $1.5 million in annual sales was established in their market there, while a $2 million annual volume of business was done in Arcadia. In 1957, Howard moved back to Arcadia and worked with Robert to operate the family business, which at that time had been one of the top 10 volume packing houses in Florida.
The contributions that Howard and his brothers have made to this community have been a very strong asset to how we survived back in those early days.
Howard became involved in the various citrus organizations, believing that involvement was a duty and that grower organizations were imperative for growers to stay informed on all the issues and regulations that affected the citrus industry. He recently said, "I don't want to go back, but if I had to, I would," showing his depth of commitment and belief in giving back to the industry. To that end, Howard was a member of Florida Citrus Mutual from 1964 to 1997, serving as a member of the board in 71 and 72. In addition, he was a member of the Florida Fruit and Vegetable Association from 1962 to 78, and a member of the Peace River Valley Growers Association from their inception in 1993 to 2008. After the 1981 freeze, Howard closed the packing house and concentrated on his groves and the picking and hauling business, making the shift to focus on buying citrus from approximately 100 growers in DeSoto and Hardee counties and selling it to 6 or 7 processing plants in a 75-mile radius. At the peak of the season, he employed approximately 400 workers. From 1991 to 1998, Howard was appointed and reappointed to the Florida Citrus Commission by then-Governor Lawton Chiles, whom he had been acquainted with prior to Chiles's election as governor. "I didn't go walking with him," Howard said with a smile, "but he was a good friend and a good man," he adds. Howard served as vice chairman from 1993 to 1994 and then chairman from 94 to 98, in addition to chairing numerous committees. During these years, Howard helped redirect the citrus industry from a production orientation to a marketing focus. To quote Howard, "We have learned how to grow citrus. Now we have to find more effective ways to sell it." Therefore, the Commission began to center their efforts on increasing consumers' awareness of the health and nutritional benefits of Florida citrus products.
Under his tenure, the Triple Crown program was developed, whereby we took orange juice and tried to showcase it as good for your health. And this was a new initiative.
Former FDOC Executive Director Dan Santangelo noted that under Howard's leadership, Florida orange juice per capita consumption increased from 5 gallons to 6 gallons, which increased retail sales by $1.5 billion per year, and this at a time when growers were producing record crops. Another problem facing growers during Howard's tenure was increasing labor costs. Therefore, Howard pursued a course of action to establish a mechanical harvesting research program, which would help growers improve harvesting efficiency and reduce costs. That increased budget in research to benefit grower problems was the forerunner of things to come, with grower-directed research playing an ever more important role in the industry today. Howard's commitment to agriculture in the state of Florida is not limited to citrus, though, as Howard was actively engaged in growing watermelons, too, serving in both the National and the Florida Watermelon Associations. In 2008, Howard was recognized with the National Watermelon Association Lifetime Achievement Award. Howard has also been active in giving back to his community of Arcadia, particularly in the area of education. Howard served on the DeSoto County School Board from 1968 to 1980, serving as chairman of the board from 1971 to 1973.
He took it very seriously. He devoted the time that was needed as far as a school board member to stay informed. He visited the campuses, he visited the classrooms, he visited with administrators and teachers. And through those actions, he conveyed that there is a purpose in an individual's life to serving the community and improving the community.
Described as a modest man and grassroots grower, Howard was known as a knowledgeable, low-key man who was committed to the industry to the point that he could be an immovable object if necessary.
Howard could get more done by not saying very much, and he didn't have to blow his horn. He did his in a very quiet, unassuming manner.
That strong, quiet leadership and commitment to the Florida citrus industry served as a steady guiding force during key points of export market expansion efforts and changing industry marketing strategies to increase sales at a time when the industry was producing record crops. Therefore, we are honored to welcome Howard E. Sorrells as the 162nd member of the Florida Citrus Hall of Fame.